we have been focused on delivering medical supplies and hospital supplies. That was our first focus. So tactical medicine, which is like combat first aid or first aid on steroids, blood clotters, tourniquets, things like that. That was our first priority, followed very quickly by supplies for hospitals. And then we started two other streams of activity. One is to help children with special needs move to safety. And the other is advocacy, to help people understand what's happening and to help save more lives in Ukraine. Our mission stays the same, to build a more prosperous Ukraine. What we need to be doing to do that right now is to save as many lives as we can. So how did we do that? We have a network of individual volunteers in the United States and in Ukraine, and we partner up with nonprofits in the United States and in Ukraine. Yes, the logistical challenges are enormous, and routes change from day to day. And yes, the drivers have come under attack. And shells are falling out of the sky all over. So you don't know where it's going to be coming from, which is why this is just insane that this is happening. And so that's why needing to be very flexible and building this trust network. We go in small groups, we move where we can. We might have one plan for one day, and then by the afternoon we have to change it. But we have enough kind of communication channels that we're able to always get something where it needs to go as quickly as possible. The Ukrainian people are really reminding us all what it means to practice democracy. And I think the Ukrainian people have been working out their civic engagement muscles pretty aggressively for the past 8 years. But this goes much deeper than the past 8 years. Ukraine declared independence in 1991. So you have an entire generation of people who grew up in an independent Ukraine that has been a democracy and a market economy. Hasn't been perfect. There have been problems, but there has been a regular transition of power. There have been elections for president. There have been elections for parliament. You have 30 plus years of people in Ukraine saying, we do things this way. And that's just sort of recent history. People in Ukraine are paying a really, really high price. I mean, they're putting their bodies on the line to be able to have a sovereign country where they can decide what the rules are. But, people have been preparing for this not this. No one thought this, or very few people thought this would happen. But people have been active citizens of Ukraine for 30 years, but really active since 2014, 2015, consciously saying, I'm a citizen of Ukraine and this is what this means. And so what I hear, it's devastating and inspiring at the same time. Well, as someone who grew up in the United States at a time where, you couldn't find Ukraine on the map, and I had to explain to my elementary school that my grandparents really are from this place over here. It's like the media in the US is doing a much better job than in the 70s and 80s. I'm thrilled to hear so many voices directly from Ukraine. I would encourage everyone to take time to learn about Ukraine directly and to always ask sort of, who are they putting in front of the microphone? Is there someone from Ukraine who can tell the story? Our organization has a link tree, which is a curated list of things to do, linktree/Razom for Ukraine. And on the list of things to do, we do have links to some films from Ukraine. And I would encourage people to hear directly from people in Ukraine. I want to make sure that people have a chance to see that Ukraine is not just Russian bombs falling from the sky. There's some fantastic online stores that are functioning now. There's a fantastic fashion designer. Actually, this is her necklace, Bevza. She's had 10 shows at New York Fashion Week already. And she just posted on her Instagram that bevza.com is open. You can buy this season's clothes, which are gorgeous. There might be a bit of a delay in the delivery, she says, but the Bevza is selling things. Osnova is a fantastic bookstore. So I think the coverage is good. I would encourage people to learn about Ukraine and the creativity of Ukraine, because there's so much innovation and so much that even with bombs falling, people there are creating amazing stuff that makes the world be better. And so I'd like to see more of that. But the most important thing is to do something. And it doesn't have to be huge. It just needs to be tangible. And it needs to be day in and day out, or at least week in and week out. So we do have a list of things to do that you can get to from our website, which is razomforukraine.org. And we have a link tree there, linktree/Razom for Ukraine. And there's a list of things to do there. And at the top of the list, you'll see how to call your representative, how to call your member of Congress and say, hey, what's going on in Ukraine is not okay. Secondly, money, the money that we can turn into goods as quickly as possible is very much appreciated. And then the advocacy and awareness. And I must say that it's been so humbling to see contributions, yes, but how people are assembling these contributions. I mean, the number of people who have organized events to bring people together around Ukraine, or, you know, come together and make Ukrainian dumplings, pyrohe, varaniki, or there's this fantastic company that makes candles, and they're making blue and yellow candles and contributing the proceeds of that. There's just this burst of creativity, and it's just really humbling, and all of it matters. So we also have on there a list of movies, and I think we're going to put some playlists up too. But if everyone keeps paying attention and keeps learning a bit about who are these people that for whom democracy and rule of law and a rules-based system is so important, Ukraine has a lot to offer all of us. And I hope people accept what Ukraine has to offer.